So this is going to be a little bit of a different one. I'm going to tell you guys about all the problems that I've had these last, I don't know, 2 weeks. Most of them happened this week, but this happened last week. So about last week or so, I have a dual Epic 7742 server, and it kicked off and would not reboot. So make a long story short, I did a bunch of troubleshooting, and this seems to be the issue. Anytime this CPU is in the system, it just won't post. It like turns on, acts like it's going to post, and then kicks off. And turns on, acts like it's going to post, then kicks off. You know, I retorqued it, reseated it, tried different slots, and it just followed this CPU while the other 7742 would boot every single time. So now I have a spare 7742 that doesn't work, that's only 2 months old, and a pile of RAM. So that is issue number 1. And that is my first failed part that I haven't been able to get fixed. So now I'll show you all the other failed parts I've had in the last 2 weeks, but a lot of these I've been able to get fixed. Let me show you. So this is my gaming tower, and usually it stands upright over here in the corner, but it's laying down right now because I just got the GPU back. This has a 4090 in it, and my kid was playing and fell down underneath the desk right here, and as soon as he fell down, this baby, I was watching YouTube and it just went poof, no more video. That was it. Graphics card wouldn't boot, or wouldn't work. I mean, the computer actually booted just fine, everything would work, but just no video output. So that had to get pulled out. I just got it back from warranty yesterday, and so now that's all fixed. So it's like, you know, because those are not cheap. Then this morning when I came out, every single one of these things were off, because that middle PDU right there, I guess, finally gave up on life. It shorted out and it blew the breaker and wouldn't reset the breaker with that PDU plugged in. That's the second one I've had happen to me this month. The other one happened when it was mounted on the wall right there. But yeah, so that's another failure PDU. Trying to swap it out with that PDU, and that one was dead. So that's 2 dead PDUs. Luckily, none of the servers or PCs got affected in a negative way. They all still run fine. Thank God. And then last but not least, both 4090 rigs died within hours of each other. That one had a bad power supply yesterday, and it would only run for about an hour before it would kick off, and then reboot it. It would run for like 5 minutes and kick off. And so I turned that one off and had some plans to build a new rig today. Came out this morning, and this one was off, and it won't even boot. So bad power supply as well. May have took out the motherboard, which is funny because I've only had 3 of these cases now fail, and they've all been with 4000 series cards. These cards, in fact. The first case that failed with just the 4 4090s. Now I have a 4080 and 3 4070s between the 2 cases. So I thought that was really interesting that I've only had failures with 4000 series in these cases. I don't know if it's due to the transient spikes that these are cooling. So my plan is now, because those used to be one there and one there, I'm going to take this guy, stack it on that guy, and put all the 4000 series, including that 4090 that's in my gaming PC. I'm just going to put it out here as well, let it mine. And I'm going to hook them up in an open air rig so they can all have separate power supplies on risers to see if that saves boards, because I keep killing boards and power supplies. So maybe if I just over beef them on power supplies, it'll take the issue away. So I'm going to take this 1660 Super Rig that I'm using to heat my house right now. The weather's starting to get warmer, so I'm just going to take this all apart and use this open air frame to put the 4090s or all of the 4000 series on it. So that should be 5 4090s, 3 4070s, and 1 4080. Hopefully they all fit. We'll see. Okay, so I'm starting to tear all these stuff down. I got the open air rig really good, teared down, and then I'm starting off with a 3300 watt power supply for the 4090s, and I'll probably have a couple other 1500 watt and 1200 watt ones over there as well. Alright, so I got that one running, and I just tested it and it works. So then I got these 4000 series left, and if I have room, I'll put the one inside my gaming PC on here, but I don't know if I'm going to have room for that one. Alright, so that's 3 4090s, 4090, 4090, 4090, and then 3 4070s, and that's pulling, that's doing Pyron, doing about 1700 watts, 1700, like 65 watts or so. And that's just the cards. And then it's another 100 watts to the board and the fans, but not bad. And I just got to squeeze 2 more on there, and it looks like if I really want to run that 5th 4090, I'm going to have to like put it down there or something to run along cable. But I'll figure that out later. See if I can get these 2 going. I am not going to lie though, these 4080s are sweet. The Founders ones, they're so chunky. I love them. Just such a cool looking and feeling card. Alright, so it's done. I'm not going to add my 5th 4090 for now, but you got a 4080, 4090, 4070, 4090, 4070, 4090, 4070, 4090. Pretty freaking slick, man. And I had to run 1200 watt power supply for the 4080 alone, and a 1500 watt power supply for the 4090 alone. And the reason why I do that isn't because like the 1500 watt could run both of those for a while, but like once or twice a week you'd have to restart it because I think it's the transient spikes, man. I think that thing all of a sudden just pulls a lot of wattage real quick, and then it trips the CPU or the power supplies out. So, and then they crash. That's why, you know, and it keeps doing that. You know, it keeps spiking, and when you have a heavy load on these power supplies, it wears them out real fast. So that 3300 watt power supply is going to pull right at about, you know, 1800 watts or so when it's just, you know, going, and then it'll have the rest of this header for transient spikes. That'll pull about 400 watts or so on the 4090 on the 1500, and then it'll have the rest, you know, for transient spikes. So that's how I've been doing it, and then they don't crash. But yeah, these 4000 series GPUs, at least the 4090s, they're hell on power supplies and rigs. I mean, you know, these have blown up 3 rigs so far. So now I'm going to run them, like I said, in these open air, and you know, it'll be a lot better because they have risers. They won't blow boards up. So let's go inside and see what the hash rate is of this guy. And there it is. 121 gigahash on Pyron. That's amazing. And if you look right here, you can see that's that 3300 watt PSU. It's pulling about 1818 watts. We got that Zotac 4090 on that 1500 watt CPU or PSU. Yeah. And that's pulling about 440 watts, and then the 1200 watt PSU with the 4080s pulling about 230 watts. And then you can see the motherboard and all the fans are down there pulling 100 watts way down here. So it's a lot to run all those 4000 series GPUs, but they also produce a lot of mega hash, so, or hash rate. So anyways, that was kind of my fix today, and now I'm back up running at full strength, and Didn't have any more problems from there. I need to order some more PSUs and get other things going, but I got pretty much everything back up and running. That's important. I still got to get all those 1660 supers up somehow, but I'm done for the day. Till next time, guys.